Welcome everyone to another edition of your morning workout talk with your one and only literary pharaoh. Yes, it's another Monday. Headed to the gym. My most important job of the day. Remember, guys, your most important job of the day is not your work, your 9 to 5 or your salary paying job, whatever it is. That's not your most important job of the day. The most important job of the day that you have for yourself is to take care of your temple. Anything that you're doing to improve your body, improve your mind, improve your energy, those things are the things that are most important. That's your most important job of the day. The 9 to 5 stuff is just what you have to do because of this economic slave system that we're under, that I hate, that I dread. You know, no one wakes up to go to work, but we should be waking up to go to work. Let me say that again. No one wakes up to go to work. The first kind of work I'm talking about is a 9 to 5 kind of work. No one wakes up for that. I don't think innately we love that. I think we just do that because we have to. But we do wake up to work on ourselves. You know, life is work, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, life is work. You can't escape it. Insects work, wasps, ants, bees, animals, searching for food. I mean, we have to work. But my challenge to you is, which work is more important to you? Now, you may say both are equal because I need my money and I'm going to take care of myself. No, you don't, because, yeah, we understand you need the money, but what good is the money if you have bad health? What you going to do? Use the money that you've earned to take care of your badass health? Put your money back into the pharmaceutical system, the medical industry, put it back in there? Have a bunch of bills, medical bills that are piling up because you worked for it? So you basically, in other words, if you don't put your health, as the primary cause of what you do or why you do it, then what you're going to end up doing is having a bunch of money and using your money to take care of yourself. But it's not really taking care of yourself. It's money being thrown away, because we understand that the allopathic means of medicine, meaning that the way that the Western medicine, the way the system is currently constructed, we understand that it's not put here as a means to heal. It's put here as a means to keep you, in the rat wheel, so to speak, keep you in the rat race, continuing to put you on meds after meds after meds after meds. I don't see how medicine and nutrition are not succinctly intertwined. I don't understand why they don't make it mandatory for anyone who's studying medicine to study nutrition. I think before you even study medicine, nutrition should be studied first, because at the backdrop of everybody's health is nutrition. Studying medicine is okay, it's rooted in studying chemicals and chemical concoctions, but we understand that foods in and of themselves have chemicals too. So I don't understand. That's always been something that was an eye-opener to me, to let me know that Western medicine is not at all involved or, centered on healing people. It's not about your health. Now, they do give off the impression that it's about health. I'm not going to lie about that. They do a good job of that, but the media is very, very deceptive. Woo! I feel this morning, I feel okay. I didn't go to bed as early as I wanted to. Had Sundays, getting the kids ready, doing laundry, cleaning. And I hate the way our the time is, I don't know, I'm not into all that, take the time 1 hour ahead, 1 hour behind. But what I do know is that it gets darker later. So it could be could be 7 o'clock or 7:30 and it's still bright as hell outside, and my kids are under the impression that it's still morning. So I'll say something like, okay guys, gotta get ready for bed. You're like, but it's not dark yet. It's not dark. And I'm like, oh. And then by the time they wind down and go to sleep, it's just, I was talking to my wife about that yesterday. I'm like, ugh. Like, I want to get the kids to bed no later than 8:30, okay? And then I want to get to bed no later than 9:30, but I find myself getting the kids to bed around 9:30, and I find myself getting to bed almost 10. Like, I don't want to go to bed at almost 10. Because I know that I have to wake up at 3:50 in the morning. My alarm rings at 3:50. So I have a 10-minute cushion to make sure I get my ass up by 4. But I'm usually always up before 4. My body, even before my alarm rings, my body is always sort of already waking up. It's funny how, well, it's not necessarily funny, but it's amazing how the body works. That if you put the body into a persistent and a consistent form of lifestyle, especially in terms of dealing with time and schedule, your body starts to have its own internal clock where you don't even need the alarm system. Now, don't get me wrong, if I go to bed extremely late, I'm going to need the alarm system. But like, if I go to bed like around the time I normally should go to bed, I don't need my alarm. I don't need my alarm because what happens is that I start already kind of waking up before my alarm rings. And then I'll look at the clock, I'm like, gosh, crap, I have like about 5-6 more minutes to lay down, you know. But we all have to confront our day with vigor. We have to do so because the day is coming. The day is coming. Now, people say the day is never guaranteed, but if the day does come, it's in your best interest to attack your day. Don't let your day meet you. You meet the day. In other words, don't procrastinate. You know, meet your battles head on. Win, lose, or draw. Keep fighting. And that's a moniker for everything in life. I'm not just talking about just working out or waking up. Just have that same mentality with everything else that you do in life. Always keep fighting as long as you have breath. Whether you're fighting to better yourself economically, whether you're fighting to better yourself health-wise, whether you're fighting yourself to be a better person in terms of your mindset and your mentality, and keep fighting. You are never a finished product as long as you're breathing. There's always hope for the ones that are alive because you have the ability to make changes. And stop trying to get to your final destination or the end result today. It's not going to happen. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process of getting to where you need to be. The journey is the end game. Have fun. Have fun. Because when you know your goal, just keep working at it. Keep chipping away. The progression is the perfection. Perfection will never come. Even when you get to your end goal, by the time you get to your end goal won't be your end goal anymore. You're going to push the envelope. You're going to extend your limits. You're going to push further to see how far can I go. That's in everything in life. You say, how do I know? Well, the human anatomy tells me that. Just like a person who's not flexible. Once you start stretching, you start to reach certain limits that you never thought you could reach. But then once you reach that limit, your body starts to push you even further. We don't know how far we can go. We don't even use 10% of our freaking brains. All right? We are riddled with something called junk DNA that's interwoven into our metagenetics, and we don't tap into that stuff. We don't even know how far we can go. You know, we play it safe. So I'm here to tell you that it's great to have goals, but don't beat yourself up if you haven't got there yet. But do know that when you get there, you're going to have a new goal. You think goals stop? You think once you reach a goal, it stops? No, it doesn't stop. Life is the process of goals, of having goals, reaching goals, accomplishing goals, create new ones. Because once you get into the habit of goal accomplishing, that becomes what you want to do, continually. Oh man. And not saying that I'm perfect, I'm by a long shot, no one is. But when I do these videos and I talk, before I started doing this morning workout talk videos, these are the things that I had going on in my head. So I said, you know what? While I'm going to the gym, let me just start recording and making videos about my thoughts. Yeah, the topic's going to be random. They're not going to, it's not going to be like I have a topic to discuss. I don't wake up with a topic. I just have things going through my head and I just talk about them. But there's a certain degree of healthy pressure that comes from doing these videos. You say LP, Literary Pharaoh. What do you mean by that? Well, I mean that if I'm busy talking to you guys or inspiring you guys, whatever I'm doing, how do you think I'm gonna live my life? Like, I don't have room to be a hypocrite, right? I can't get on here and talk a good game and then once I end the video and I go back to living totally contrary to the things that I just said. I can't do that. I can't live with myself and do that. So there's a certain degree of healthy pressure. I say healthy pressure because it's needed to put me in check, to put me in a state of understanding that I don't want to be I'm going to give you the analogy. I don't want to be the trainer, all right, the physical trainer that has patients or that has customers, whatever, but you're sloppy, you're obese, you don't work out, but you're trying to work somebody else out. Like, it's hard. Like, no one's going to believe you. It's not believable. You may have the best workout regimen, you may have the best diet plans, but if you yourself are not living what you're preaching, then your job becomes, it takes a hit. The credibility of what you're doing takes a huge hit. So when I'm talking to you guys about, do this, do that, keep working, keep striving, keep having goals, eat right, your health is the most important thing. I live that. And it not necessarily forces me, but it when I get off these feeds, it reminds me what's important because I'm talking to an audience about that. Whether it's 2 people that are listening to me talk, whether it's 5 people, whether it's 1,000 or 1,000,000 people, it doesn't matter. All right? It doesn't matter. But the fact that I'm talking these things out is very, very helpful in keeping me on the path of being very health conscious. Well, I should say health conscious. But I also have a consciousness of health. I'm aware of my health as well. But me and my wife are here today. She's in her own car. She's right next to me. And we're gonna be working out today again. And if anyone out there, if you're married or if you have a significant other, I would recommend that you and your partner, y'all work out together. There's nothing that's more in terms of bonding. To me, I mean, there are a lot of things you can do as a couple, of course, but working out together is a huge way of bonding because you both are struggling. Struggle has a way of connecting people. That's why husbands and wives usually have a strong connection because they've gone through things together. Which is why when a husband or a wife cheats or they commit adultery, that when they betray that trust, it hurts because it's like, man, we've been through so much together. How dare you insert a new body or insert a new person into my place after what we've been through. Aside from the, I love you, you love me, aside from, you're sleeping with another person, it's just a huge betrayal. It's a huge betrayal. And usually people who do that, people who, commit adultery and have sex outside the confines of their marriage, then it's hard to get that trust back. You may have people who work things out. I'm not saying that it's a death sentence for a relationship or for a marriage. There's certain women or certain men who can come back from that, but the relationship is quite never the same. And that was a mosquito that I just swiped away. They like to come out. It's been raining for the past week, so those mosquitoes are ready to get some juice, some blood juice. Yeah, but yeah. So it's hard to come back from those things. That's why it's very important that you always keep. You always focus, and there's so many temptations out there, not just in marriage, but just in anything, even when you're eating habits. Just so many temptations out there, and you don't, just as much as you don't want to betray your marriage or betray your relationship, you don't want to betray your body either. But the body's a little bit more understanding, right? You can betray your body one day, and the body's always going to be there with you to try to regenerate itself, and your mind is going to constantly remind you of what you're supposed to do. When you betray another person outside of you, even though we're all a human race and we're all humans, it's hard to put that woman or put that man back into a state of homeostasis where you guys are back into a state of balance. But because when one partner cheats, the entire chemistry of the marriage is thrown off. It's off kilter. It's hard to regain that innocence again. Now, I have heard stories of marriages that have gone through things like that, where the couples become stronger, but it takes a special case for that to happen. That's the outlier. That's not the norm. The norm is that the relationship is never the same. That's assuming the relationship continues. For the most part, when adultery is part of a relationship, more often than not, the relationship is severed. It's broken. It comes at a point of no return. Yeah. So I don't even know how I got on that topic, but I got on it because I was talking about doing things with your spouse, and I think that's the best way to stay connected. You don't want to have two separate lives. You don't want to have I go to the gym and she doesn't work out, or because what happens is that whoever goes to the gym, you end up finding connections. You end up connecting with people who do the things that you do, and that's how you can slowly start to have a separate. Well, a man can be there or a woman can be there physically, but mentally she's gone, because if the woman goes to the gym a lot and the man doesn't do anything, then the woman is going to find people, whether it's a man or a female, that does what she does. She may end up just having a genuine male friend in the gym. When I say male friend, I don't mean like we call each other every day, but somebody that she sees, her a gym friend, like you say hi. But those things are the things that slowly start to gain momentum. Then it starts from saying hi every now and then to, hey, let me have your number, to, hey, let's go out. So you see what I'm talking about? There's seeds that are planted. So you have to make sure, if you are in a relationship, that you make sure that those cracks and crevices that can, show themselves, you make sure that you have all those things sealed. Not to say that you're supposed to live paranoid thinking that your spouse is going to cheat on you, so you need to go everywhere they go. That's not what I'm saying. But if you know your spouse is passionate about something, it's in your best interest to kind of partake in what they're interested in. So if let's say your husband likes to go for walks, don't let him go walk by himself all the time. Walk with him sometime. Vice versa. If your wife loves to go for walks, don't let her walk by herself all the time. Walk with her sometime. If your spouse loves to I don't know, garden, and you hate it. No matter, it's not about what you hate or like. You know, you're married, you're one. So if your spouse is out there doing stuff in the garden or whatever, then you go out there, you do some things with them. I'm not telling you to share the same degree of passion as they have, but what I am telling you is to sort of partake into what they're passionate about. You know, that's how you keep that connection going. You never want to have two separate lives. I know people say, well, you got to be able to do your own thing and separate. I understand that. I'm not saying be underneath each other 24/7. It's impossible, because especially if both partners work, you're not going to be together all the time. But there's certain things that both partners love to do, like hobbies, and you may not have the same hobbies or same interests. But I do implore you to sort of, you know, put yourself in a state where you're involved, even if it's at a small level. Put yourself in a situation where you're forced to be involved into what they're into, and that builds connection. Like, I know my wife, like, even though she ran track and she worked out before, she's not a gym rat like I am. But I noticed in our marriage, when we first got married, she, you know, of course, having the babies, that put a toll on her body, so she wasn't able to go to the gym, of course, after, because her body had to kind of like heal, and then she slowly started getting into it. But in terms of consistency, gym going, she was not like me, but she's getting there now, because it's not that she's doing it because she thinks I'm going to cheat on her. That's not what it is. But she's doing it because, number one, you know, frequencies are infectious. So if I'm her husband and she knows that I go to the gym a lot, and she knows how I met her, she worked out, she understands that, number one, I want to keep my body intact, so I'm going to work out with my husband. I know he wakes up early, and I'm not really a morning person, but I'm going to try to get up to go work out with him, because this is something that he's passionate about. And I'm also kind of passionate about it too. That's my wife's perspective. But with me, I've always been this way. So she tags along with me. So as a husband, as a leader in the household, I don't tell her to go to the gym. I lead by example. I lead by my actions. You know, her diet has changed. When I first met her, you know, she's the typical, you know, bacon eater, eggs and bacon. She doesn't eat all that. She still eats eggs. There's nothing wrong with eggs. If you love eggs, it's fine. But bacon is not good. She used to eat that. Her family eats that, but she changed her diet. She stopped eating that stuff years ago. Stopped drinking years ago. Very health conscious. So it's very important that you, if you're going to choose to be married, or if you are married, that you are married to somebody that sort of has your same philosophy and worldview on life. It doesn't mean that it necessarily has to be like the same, but you guys do have to share similar perspectives in order to gel well. Because if you don't, then you guys are going to be totally in contrast to one another, you know. But yeah, try involving yourself with your partner. That'll be very important. So it's 4:50 right now. As you can tell, I got here early. So I've been on this for 23 minutes and some change. My goal was to always go under 20 minutes, but you know, it's hard for me to, when you have things to say and everything's coming out from a genuine place and it's organic, it's hard to kind of put stipulations and put regulations on things. I'm only going to speak for 20 minutes, but sometimes I may have some things that are interesting to the point that it surpasses 20 minutes. So, but I said to say this, that this video is going to come to an end right now, and I will be seeing y'all again on Wednesday. And again, if you don't see me do a video, like Friday, you know, I was off from work. My wife was off from work, so we actually drove together. We had the kids with us. We actually took the kids to the gym with us on Friday. It was raining that day. And, you know, the gym I go to, they have a kids section, so you could have your kids go there. So all three of my kids came with us. This car was jam-packed. There was no way in hell I was going to do a morning workout video. But we went later because the kids section of the gym opens at 8. So we got here like around 8:30-ish, got the kids ready, and we did our thing. And I think a lot of the people in the gym were looking like, oh, this is the dude that comes early in the morning. Oh, I didn't know he had kids. Oh, his wife. Whoa. So there's no excuse, whether you have kids and you have a job and all that stuff. Look, man, you have to find a way to get your body to the gym. If not the gym, find a way to work out. Get creative. Work out in your garage. Do something. Be active. All right? Okay. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys again Wednesday for another edition of your morning workout talk, brought to you by your literary pharaoh. Peace.